Fit to Build Academy teaches homeowners how to plan, manage and complete your dream home build so that you increase your knowledge and manage your project team with a confidence normally reserved for experienced professionals. This podcast is about one thing, building your knowledge and confidence so you can be the expert of your project even when you have never built before. If you want to build your knowledge and confidence and use it to take action, then you're in the right place. All this information is 100% free, so please subscribe and review our podcast. This is Fit to Build Academy. Hello and welcome to this episode of Fit to Build Academy. I'm your host, Chris Huddart. Are you ready to dive into something really big today? We're going to be talking about getting fit to build and what that means. Specifically, what do you need to know and understand, and what do you need to do before you begin your home building project? I like to think of it like this. It's like training for a marathon. You've set a goal and now you need to complete it. To get the best results to achieve your goals, you need a plan. And in this case, a training plan. How many times per week will you run? How far will you run? What intensity will you run at? What stretching do you need to do to allow running every day? What food do you need for fuel? And what will you do on race day? What will you wear? What shoes? What clothes? What will you eat for breakfast, if anything? Will you go out fast early or stay at a consistent pace throughout? What energy bars and gels will you throughout? What energy bars and gels will you consume during the run and when? Have you practiced a run while using the energy gels? All these minor details will need to be explored and practiced. All of this planning and practice will create the confidence that is needed to ensure that on race day, at the start line, you are 100% ready to go. And I think it's fair to say that without executing that training plan and practicing that plan, you will likely not finish the race as best as possible. Home building is exactly the same. And here is what Fit to Build means. It's about having a vision, then planning how you will accomplish that vision, and then going out there and executing on that plan and vision. Resolving all the fine details before you get to the start line, which in my view, the start line is the building phase of your project. Details like, who will I use to design my home? What type of designer? What type of builder will I experience in the style of home that I want to build? Building a home is exactly like a marathon, and I'm sure you've heard this before. But it's not unusual for the whole process, including design and the construction phase, taking up to 2 years. Or even longer if you have some troubles along the way. Having a plan that will take you from the seed of an idea and a concept to fully completed home is the most important thing that you can do to set you on the right path, the path to home building success. And I really want you to lay a good foundation for approaching any kind of building project. The right plan, the right mindset, and the right tools. So it's not just about showing up on race day, is it? You wouldn't do that. You've got to train. And it's not just about the money either that you spend on a project. That often becomes the overall driving force in a home building project. It's really important. It's about being mentally, strategically prepared for this whole journey. I'm sure you've heard all the horror stories before, from friends or family, where the project has been a complete disaster and they say they would never build again. When I hear that, I feel really sorry for them, that they had to go through that. But from my experience in the industry as a designer, a builder, and project manager, I can see that most projects that end in disaster have been poorly planned or simply focused on spending as little as possible, which ultimately results in poor decision making. So I think the question that needs to be asked right at the very beginning of the home build journey is this: why? Why are you doing this project? Why are you competing this marathon? Why is this build or renovation so important to you? Why is competing in a marathon important to you? What is the problem you are actually trying to solve? Is it about the bricks and mortar, Or is it about making a positive change in your life, changing your living environment for yourself and family? And another good question to ask is, what happens in 5 years if you don't solve this problem? And I really want you thinking about that, the consequences of inaction. Does it help to see the real value in taking action now? Imagine yourself 5 years down the road. Now, are you still dealing with the same cramped space or the same dysfunctional layout? That vision of the future, whether it's positive or negative, can be a huge motivator. It's like having that finish line in mind, just like in the marathon, but instead of a physical finish line, it's like that dream home that keeps you going when things get tough. And that dream, we want you to have this idea of like crafting a clear vision statement. Here's a basic example that I have crafted with homeowners before. My vision is to create a brand new home for my family that suits the way we live now and provides enough space for a growing family into the future. The finishes inside and outside the home are to be durable so as not to need replacing within 15 years. We will choose experienced professionals that have experience in the style of home we want and check previous client experiences. Now you can really personalize it. You can dive deep into the vision you want to create for your family's future. Imagine yourself walking into this finished space. What do you see? What do you feel? What are the non-negotiables for you and your family? What does durable even mean to you? Is it materials that can withstand kids and pets? Timeless design. The more concrete and specific you can make this vision, the better. It's going to guide your decisions through the entire process. And this is where it gets really interesting because we want to highlight the importance of finding the right professionals. To bring that vision to life, it's so important that we think about questions like these. Who do I want to work with? What type of designer or builder? And something that is really crucial, finding professionals that are a good fit. It's not just about their portfolio. It's not just about how good the photos look of previous jobs on their website. They are there to hook you in. It's about how you work together. You're going to be spending a lot of time with these people, a lot of time. So it's got to be a good fit. You've got to develop a great chemistry. So are you someone who prefers constant communication and updates? Or are you someone who likes to give their team space? Those are really important things to think about. Like, what are some of the character traits that are essential to you? Maybe you really value transparency and honesty above all else, and also need someone who is super organized and detail-oriented. Those are all things to consider when you're interviewing potential designers and builders. Absolutely, it's like assembling your team for the marathon. The coach, the masseur, the support staff, if you can afford them, to supply your drinks along the way. And speaking of different stages in this marathon, we want you to think about the different approaches to project delivery, like traditional tender versus volume home building or production home building. And this is where I think some research and due diligence comes in. Traditional might offer more customization, focuses on efficiency and pre-design options and speed. It's all about understanding the nuances of each approach and choosing the one that aligns with your priorities, your budget, and your comfort level. So to sum up what we've covered so far, being fit to build goes way beyond just having the money for the project. It's about understanding why you're building, crafting that crystal clear vision, and carefully assembling the right team, your marathon support team, to support you through this whole process. This is all about setting yourself up for success, not just in terms of the final outcome, but also in terms of having a smoother, more enjoyable experience throughout the entire design and construction journey. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more insights on getting fit to build after this. So, welcome back. Setting yourself up for success is all about upfront planning and thinking and planning some more. And preparation is absolutely the key. And it doesn't matter whether you're planning a holiday, starting a business, or building a home. They all require careful planning and preparation. It's all about having that clarity of vision, that solid plan, and the right team to support you. For that fit to build mindset, that combination of preparation, self-awareness, and just a willingness to embrace the challenges that come with taking on something so big. And speaking of challenges, let's briefly delve into understanding the different types of designers and builders that you might work with. This is where it really gets interesting and challenging. And we touched on this a little bit earlier, but we're going to delve deeper into this now. It's not just about finding somebody with the right technical skills. It's about finding some people who share your vision and who you feel comfortable collaborating with. Someone you can build a chemistry with, someone you can communicate with clearly, and who gets your vision. For example, are you building a contemporary home with unique architectural features? Okay, then you might want a designer who specializes in that style. Or perhaps you're passionate about sustainable building practices, in which case you'd seek out a designer and a builder with experience in that methodology. And it's about finding the right expertise for your specific project. To use the marathon example again, you might need a coach for the endurance, a nutritionist for fueling, and a physical therapist to keep your body in top shape. Each expert on your project plays a crucial role. They are crucial in your overall success, and I really want to encourage you to think about the communication styles and personalities of the professionals you'll be working with, because you're going to be integral for an extended period, anywhere up to 2 years, or if you have some troubles, a bit longer. So it's important to make sure that there's a really good chemistry. And remember, this one is really important. If you're taking a recommendation from a friend or family member, be careful, as their experience might not be your experience. For example, your friend might be more carefree and roll with the punches and challenges and deal with issues loosely, but you might be someone that is highly detail oriented and needs the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Your high detail style might not match with the builder's free and easy style, and you might find yourself clashing. Finding a contractor who understands your style and who you feel comfortable communicating with is key. You will have a lot of decisions to make along the way, and I mean a lot. There'll be daily decisions, and being able to have those open and honest conversations makes the whole process so much smoother. You want to feel confident that your team is listening to your needs. And that's kind of going to bring us to the finish line today. Being fit to build is about so much more than just financial readiness. It's about being mentally and emotionally prepared for the journey ahead. It's about being confident in your plan. It's about asking yourself those tough questions up front, understanding your motivations, clarifying your vision, and importantly, assembling the right team to support you. It's about laying that strong foundation for a successful and fulfilling experience. And now that we've unpacked this idea of fit to build, what's one small action step that you can take this week to move closer to your dream project? It could be as simple as sketching out some ideas, researching potential designers and builders in your area, or having that cruise with your partner about your shared vision for the future. Remember that every marathon starts with a single step, and every dream home starts with a vision of your future self. By taking the time to prepare yourself mentally and strategically, you're setting yourself up for a more successful and fulfilling experience along the way. And all of this creates a confidence that you will have to carry you through to the end. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you would like to work with us to build your dream home or project, please go to fit2buildacademy.com or follow us on Instagram at fit2buildacademy, where we have a link in the bio to book an appointment to chat with us. If you enjoyed today's episode, please review and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Fit to Build. Thanks so much for listening, and remember, go out there and build something amazing.